gun. Feel the fire as I come undone. I breathe in and it fills my lungs. Let it
Solo casting. Oh, I was talking before, but Mike wasn't on. So, welcome back to the GSL Super Tournament, guys. I am Wolf, and I am alone today, but that's okay, because it's kind of fun, you know? I miss Moletrap, who's sitting right here next to me. I was a little bit further over this way, but he was here. And, you know, when you cast these games alone, you get a lot of respect for what it means to have a good co-caster and have good chemistry, because all of those things disappear when you have to cast alone. You don't have anyone to bounce ideas off of. You've got to do everything yourself, and it's a little bit challenging. But I'm here to do this for you guys, so you guys still get an awesome English broadcast. I'm hoping I give you guys the best cast possible. So, we've got a little bit of downtime here. I'll mention myself on Twitter. You can follow at FXOWolf if you'd like to, and you can even submit questions there. I haven't gotten a lot of questions there yet, so I'm trying to kind of pick some of those out and use them on cast when I'm here by myself, so I can, you know, have something to talk about. But we're gonna have a player introduction here, because MVP Genius is gonna be our Protoss player. He's actually been a super solid player. He actually took out Loner at BlizzCon. That's one of his notable achievements. Also, he's been in Code S forever. You know, he's been in there since January, made it to the round of 16. And in March, he got knocked out in the round of 32, but stayed in his up and down matches. A lot of people thought he was going to fall down then, but he showed him otherwise advanced to the round of 16, where in May, where I believe he was beaten by Nada. And he actually will be in Code S in July as well. There's a shot of him now. And actually, the other day when he was playing his round of 32 match, or actually, excuse me, his round of 64 match, he was here and I was here at the studio, and he gave me an MVP shirt. Me personally, while I was in the audience, I feel very grateful for that. I've always been a Genius fan ever since he was on Nex, so I'm very close to the Nex clan. I practice with them a lot. My favorite clan on the Korean server. Nice guys. Of course, he's changed clans from Nex to NSP and now is part of the team MVP. His opponent, a player on the team Slayers, he is Slayers Min. A player who we haven't seen a whole lot out of here recently, but he did make it to the round of 16 in the Code A tournament last season, and he's still in Code A. Did take out July, though, 2-1 to get here with some interesting Mutalisk play. No, he actually has a 100% win rate versus Protoss recently, 2-0. The stats that I looked up back at the GOM house. So, you know, we haven't seen a lot out of him, but so far what we've seen him against Protoss, he's done quite well. There's a shot of him now. Looks pretty focused. He looks like a super intelligent guy, but he's got a lot of different things planned. And like that Mutalisk build that he did against July, it felt like it was a big masterpiece. It was a good plan, and maybe he's got something awesome planned for us today. Alright, so here's some of their recent games. You can see the most recent 10 sets. He's 50% out of his recent 10 games is for Genius. He beat Hongen, or actually beat Hongen and beat Lucira. Lost to Nada and Hero. Beat Ryung. Lost to Min, Boxer. He lost to Boxer once, but took him out 2-0 to actually advance to this round. Now Min has some wins that are a little bit cut off on my screen, but he beat the best MVP. Well, he beat MVP once, but lost MVP in a best of 3. Did defeat Genius, though, fairly recently, so that's something that is going to be pretty important for this match. Now, he lost to Keen, and there are a few other wins there listed that I couldn't quite read in time because part of it was cut off my screen. I do apologize. So, let's take a look at our maps here. The first set is Metalopolis, followed up by Xel'Naga Fortress, and set 3 will be on Crevasse. Genius, interestingly enough, eliminated Belcher Beach, which has been a map that Prosses recently have done pretty well on. Some really close games on those matches, notably Any Pro, Game 3, and the round of 64. You should definitely check that out. And Xel'Naga Caverns eliminated for Min. When we see something like that, it looks like he definitely likes the Hatch Burst style because it's very difficult to do that on Xel'Naga Caverns, so maybe that's why he eliminated that map. We're going to see, though, who can take the first game. Both of these players looking pretty concentrated, pretty focused. Like I said, the first map is going to be Metalopolis. Actually, that's incorrect. The first map is going to be Terminus Re. I'm watching it load up on my screen right now. We'll see who takes game 1. Is it going to be Genius or is it going to be Min? Let's find out here at the GSL Super Tournament.
MVP Genius versus Flair's Mid.
All right, over here at the top position, we have our Protoss player, a member of the team MVP. He's really smart. Some might even say he's a
MVP Genius.
There he is now. Now at the bottom position, we've got a cheerful. Oh, nice mask. It's a pretty awesome mask, actually. And at the bottom, of course, we have a player on the team Slayers, one of their best Zergs. He is
Slayer Submit.
All right, so there was a little bit of confusion about the map because I was told that it was Metalopolis, but then it was Terminus, and then they were like, no, it is Metal. I was like, no, I'm watching, it's on Terminus, so it is actually going to be played on Terminus Re. And it looks like Genius plans on going for a fast Nexus. He has already started his forge. He's started a little wall off there, and it looks like a hatch first going down for Min. So very macro-oriented playstyles, of course, from both of these players. Very unusual to see a Zerg player not hatch first on this map because it's so big, so huge. And Probe, scouting around, does see that hatchery first. And in fact, did Genius? No, he did go to both locations. He sent a very early Probe scout. Oh, he's going to try to cannon here. Now, if you can get those pylons up in a good spot, that's all that really matters when you're canning your opponent. And it looks like Min is going to react immediately and pull some drones off. If you can get a cannon in between that extractor, or actually, excuse me, if you get a cannon in between the assimilator and that mineral patch, that's what I thought he was going to try to do, and block it off with the pylon so the drones couldn't attack it. That would have been pretty cool. May have been his plan. Did, of course, cancel that. And the 75 minerals lost for canceling that pylon were much less significant than all of the lost mining time that was spent on those drones. Because they're going to go all the way back to those mineral patches, mine for like a second. They're going to have to transfer all the way over there again. Kind of sucks. Kind of sucks to be in those drones. They're walking back and forth like, you know, normally I'm not used to walking long distances. I normally just walk right in between the minerals and the hatchery. It's not a long walk. You made me walk all the way down to the natural. And you canceled it. I didn't even need to be there. It's like when your boss calls you into work and you don't actually have to be there, but you like go a 45-minute commute. And he's like, oh, work's canceled. You know, we can't do that thing, such and such. So it's that kind of a situation. All right, so I'm back at home for Genius. He has started a gateway. He's got his gases up and running. He's going to get that core up ASAP, actually making a photon cannon first. Just wants to be very safe, very careful. And actually, there's the probe transfer now. Nice timing on that. Nexus finishing up. Sorry, at the beginning of these games, I know I'm not giving that much analysis, giving all the play-by-play. It's not usually my style. When I cast by myself, sometimes I have to do that. It's a little weird for me. I'm like, yeah, there's a probe walking around. He's doing stuff. That probe's got some minerals in its mouth. Well, actually, probes don't have mouths. They hold it with their particle beams, which also are pretty deadly, I've heard. They do 5 damage. Melee ranged attack. Alright, so this probe actually looks like he will escape. Because of the nice wall up for Genius, the Zerglings that were following it will not... Ooh, nice. Fast. Third base for Min. Look at that wall up for Genius, though. It's actually so good that Zerglings just really have to take a long way around. It's a really tough spot. You know, if you're trying to actually put some pressure on with Lings, it's very difficult to engage a wall off like that. So I don't think Min will really try to go for something like that. Because I'd say that wall off is pretty genius. This is pretty genius, too. The Stalker is going to chase down the Overlord. Looks like the Overlord will just barely escape unless he sends another Stalker around to the middle. That would be a bit bold. Now, Genius doesn't yet know about the fast third base, but he is powering up, adding some gateways here. In fact, he's going to go up to 5 warp gates, possibly even a 6th warp gate. 6 warp gate timing attack is really popular. It's actually kind of Genius' style. Zergling wants to come forward and do some scouting. Is denied. And in fact, that Stalker is actually going to try to come out here and find that Overlord. In the middle of the map, you guys will get a shot of it in a second. There he goes. Trying to find that Overlord, and it looks like he may get it. Maybe just barely escapes. Oh, he does get it. Not going to be able to get the second one, though. He's going to try his best. But no manner of genius is good enough to make a Stalker shoot faster. Stalkers just have a... They're capped, man. They don't actually... They can't try harder. They've got one setting. Shoot. There's not a Stalker upgrade that's called shoot faster. Doesn't exist. Now, Roachborn and Evolution Chamber going up for Min. Wants to start cranking out those upgrades. Once you have that third base up, and your opponent, if you can hold off your opponent's initial pressure, you can really start making use of those tech structures. His Lair's finishing up at the exact same time as his Roachborn. So when that finishes up, he's going to be able to get Roach speed immediately, which is a really big plus. Burrow is being researched immediately as well. Actually, waiting on that Roach speed just a little bit. Now he started it. And back at home, Genius doesn't have that many units. He's about to, I think, warp in his first round of gateway units. You should have actually warped those. Yeah, they're there. There they are, getting a shot of them now. Where are his units? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world are Genius's units? I may make a lot of Carmen Sandiego references here in the next few days as a cast alone because I love Carmen Sandiego. It was one of my IDs for a while, actually. Sometimes I use it in IRC, Team Liquid. Zergling. Oh man, he got the Zergling away from the Zelnog. Watch out, Zergling's not going to see the rest of these units. Oh, I know you guys don't have a shot of it, but the Zergling didn't see any of these units, so he has no idea this is coming. He's going to try to power some units off to hold off the possible aggression. Well, I'm not sure if he's going to have enough. He does have 7 Roaches on the way. Burrow is not quite done. It's not going to be done right when he gets here, but it will finish in the middle of the battle. The same can be said of Roach speed, so this is going to be a really important timing for Genius to see what he can do. He's going to try to target down that pylon with his Roaches, giving the Stalkers a few free shots. Does have a significant amount of sentries. Actually looks like he wants to maybe go around, but if he waits, that means Burrow will be done. He doesn't have an observer with this army, and now Burrow is done. It's going to be very tough for Genius to engage because every Roach that rallies out will be temporarily invincible, and all that Min really has to do is get enough Roaches to hold. And once he has that, you know, he's basically, whenever he burrows, Genius can't do anything. He just pops up more Roaches, and they'll overwhelm him eventually. Oh, nice move. Realizing Genius doesn't have the Observer, wants the units to walk over his burrowed Roaches, trying to bait them back with those weakened Roaches. Moves those weakened Roaches forward again. He wants to snipe that pylon. This is actually the only pylon Genius has here, because he canceled the second pylon. It may be time for Genius to just go home. Does make that third Nexus. Looks like he just wants to keep the pressure on right now. If the Roaches try to run forward, he'll cut them off, do as much damage as he can, but he's not going to try to push in and do any real damage. Not going to do any more real harassment. A +2 melee attacks, or missile attacks rather, on the way. 14 Roaches about to pop. Roach burrowed movement has started. It's about a third of the way done. Twilight Council on the way as well for Genius. Genius's third Nexus starting up. It's going to take a little while for that to finish. It's kind of an interesting position to put those cannons in. So many Roaches moving out in the middle of the map, though. In fact, that is 46 Roaches. They do have speed. They do have +2 weapons. Well, actually, their +2 weapons not quite done yet. They're about to have burrowed movement. When that happens, that's when things get really nasty, because even if you force field them away, they're still going to come through. Does burrow them right outside those cannons. Of course, the cannons do get vision, but when you have that many Roaches, even if your Roaches are getting shot while they're burrowed, if you control them properly, it won't even necessarily matter. That's so many Roaches. He's got more and more Roaches rallied out, basically just cranking out Roaches. Burrowed movement is done. Here he goes. He may even try to use these Overlords to spread creep. Now, oh, nice force fields by Genius, blocking actually all those Roaches out, but here they come like sharks under the water. They're about to pop up, and all of them get under. They do pop up. There may be enough Stalkers for Genius to hold. He does have an Immortal as well. Nice, immediately reforce fields, forcing these units to go underground, but they heal so quickly while they're underground that they're actually throwing all the way through. May have enough Roaches to break through. The Immortal may fall. Good force fields again for Genius, but he's running out of energy. And now the Roaches on top of the Stalkers. The Stalkers do have +1. The Roaches do as well. There is an Observer here, so if he burrows right here, even though there's no cannons, he will be able to see. It looks like there's maybe too many Roaches. More and more Roaches streaming back from behind. He's reinforcing with them. I'm taking a while to get here, but he's picking off things left and right. He actually may pick off these pylons if he wants to. No, going to go actually instead for the Forge. Looks like he will target that down, so no +2 for you, Genius, and now +2 is actually done for Min. Finishing up right at this moment. Now look at all the rest of the Roaches joining up. He's actually going to burrow to heal those. Because you do have burrow, they regenerate Roaches so fast. Now he's actually just going to go ahead and break down these rocks, prepare to attack the third base. Genius isn't even going to transfer any probes there right now because he knows there's no way he can hold this attack at this moment at that location. Just going to try to engage when his Stalkers have better concave. Nice, Min splits his units into 2 groups, runs one around the side. Now Genius is completely surrounded, so his Blink Micro won't be as effective. Losing so many Stalkers here, and I don't know if he can hold this. GG! Couldn't hold it. Min smiles, showing the camera. He's pleased with his victory. Taking a sip from his Pocari Sweat. Pocari Sweat, actually a very good drink. I got some from the 24-hour mark the other day. I tried it. It's one of Karn's favorite drinks. Karn, a French pro gamer, lives in the GOM house. He suggested to me to try it. Went to the 24-hour mark, bought one. It was really awesome. I really enjoyed it. Sully coming in there and praising him for his win. Genius, though, looks all alone after his defeat. No big deal, though. Look at him smiling now. He actually just typed something into the chat with a frowny face. He started smiling. The second map will be Xel'Naga Fortress, though. I gotta say, Min's chances right now is looking pretty good. He played really solid in that game. He didn't really make any mistakes. He was a little aggressive on getting that fast third base up, but he knew, okay, we're at cross position. I can be this risky. I can go for this. Paid off for him. Min fixing his hair. You can't see him doing it. He's looking the other way. Now he's fixing it. He's going to look back at the camera. Genius looks so focused right now. I actually never seen someone look so serious before. Talking to himself a little bit, trying to get himself pumped up for this game. He's got to be pumped. Xel'Naga Fortress is a very interesting, very good map. I think it's a really, really balanced map, to put it in a term that most people can understand. I know a lot of people haven't looked at it too much. But who's going to take this game? Will Min close out the series 2-0, or will Genius come back here with some Genius Protoss play? We'll find out here at the GSL Super Tournament on Xel'Naga Fortress.